Hi, welcome to Stanford Farm Indiana again. This is our second YouTube video, so it's going to be polished and perfect. Today we're going to talk about planting watermelons into a mulch of rye and vetch. So the other day we walked around and looked at our cover crops. This is a bunch of rye and vetch that is a lot of vetch. So I'm going to cut a little pile of that. Try not to hit my cameraman. So we've been growing watermelons here for quite a while. We're on clay soil, and a lot of people think you can't grow a good watermelon on clay. But if you get your organic matter up, they grow great on clay. So it's not quite enough mulch for the hill. So what I'm doing is I'm concentrating the mulch into hills where I can, then I'm going to plant buckwheat in the areas around the hills because I don't have quite enough mulch for this, for the watermelons. So I'm making it pretty thick, you know, about 8 inches to a foot thick. Then I'm going back and I'm making it into a donut. If someone had a baling machine that could make me donuts, I'd be really happy with that. But doing that, I've got my rows are 4 feet on center, and my donuts are 6 feet on center. So more or less. My wingspan is about 6 feet because I'm 6 feet tall. Just to show that I'm not using a tape measure today. So over here I've got some donuts that I've already dumped the compost in. It's kind of like the cream filling. So I'm going to dump that in there. If I didn't have compost, I'd use soil. I'd kind of prefer to use soil, but I don't feel like digging it all up today. It's still a little wet from the rain we got. So I'm putting you know, 3 or 4 inches of compost in there, and this compost we got from Earth Keepers here in Bloomington, and it's very weed free. They cook it at a good temperature and it kills all the weeds. So as long as my mulch is thick and then the compost is there, that'll be good. So I'm going to I started watermelons in the greenhouse a couple days ago. We're growing Alibabas this year, which is a pink one, and White Wonder, which is a small white one. The White Wonders will, if you're not careful when you handle them, they'll split completely in half, which is a pretty neat thing to see. So they don't ship very well. So I'm going to let these mounds settle for a good week or two while the watermelons are getting going in the greenhouse. And that'll also give the roots of the rye a little bit of time to rot, and give the compost some time to kind of settle and make a connection to the soil below. And then I'm going to stick the plants right into these holes. So next I'll show you how we're going to plant buckwheat. Buckwheat is a summer cover crop, so it's frost sensitive. So we're right at about the last frost date here, or what used to be the last frost date here. It's getting earlier all the time. But I'm going to be careful not to throw buckwheat into my rye donuts, but I'm going to put it in between, and I'm going to put it on the paths. So I've got 48 inches between here. 30 of it is supposed to be a bed, and 18 of it is supposed to be a path. But in this case, I'm going to, and we grew rye on the paths through the winter too. Just more mulch that you can get, and so I'm sprinkling that in, being careful not to get it on the donuts. And it can really be very coarse. Buckwheat's got a lot of power to it to come through all this straw and stuff that I missed when I was raking up these mounds. So the buckwheat will grow for about 4 or 5 weeks, and it'll be in full flower. And that'll be right about the time the watermelons are going to run. So I'll go through and side the buckwheat down really quick. It dies really easily when you cut it, and then the watermelons will fill in the rest. So hopefully I'll have one pass through here to plant the watermelons. Then another pass to cut the buckwheat. And I might have a little bit of siding of weeds that come up too as we go. But that'll be about it. So like and subscribe, and leave us some comments. We'd like to hear from you and see what you think about this technique. All right, thanks. Bye.